Rutgers fans, they are ready for conference play to begin in Piscataway. The opponent tonight, the Michigan State Spartans, coming to town with head coach Tom Izzo, opening another conference season on the road. BTN basketball is on hand as the Rutgers Scarlet Knights host Michigan State to open Big Ten play. I get to run alongside John Chris, but I'm Kevin Kugler. This place is electric. The first November sellout since 1997. Like they're ready for Big Ten play.
Yeah, it's going to be absolutely electric, like you said. I mean, you look at this behind me. They're not just excited about the opponent. They're excited about the team they have on hand. It's a team of multi-year players that they're building with. And as the years go on under Steve Pikiell, you see the promise in this Rutgers team.
Now this Rutgers team with that excitement, with the newcomers coming in, Geo Baker returning and leading this team. Steve Pikiell coming off that win against Miami on the road. One of the more impressive wins in the Big Ten ACC Challenge. They're riding high, but a different test tonight with Tom Izzo's Michigan State Spartans coming to town. And the starting lineups for these two teams, and Cassius Winston and Geo Baker will be a fun matchup to watch all night.
That's going to be a great matchup. Geo Baker's got to take pride, continue to take pride, I should say, on the defensive end. Take him out of transition. If they can limit transition opportunities from the point guard position, Rutgers has a chance to make this a half-court game, and that's where they thrive.
Steve Pikiell said Geo Baker loves the challenge of facing somebody like Cassius Winston. You see a lot of that in this league. Tom Izzo certainly knows what he has in Cassius Winston, a terrific leader, a preseason All-Big Ten pick. And Coach Izzo, despite the loss to Louisville, says, you know what, we're good right now. We can really be good as we move on through the rest of the season. It's very early, and something tells me Tom Izzo's team will be just fine come March.
Yeah, I think they're going to be just fine, but it's a team that's got to win with balance. They're not a star-studded team, so you've got to win by having everybody on the court dialed in, functioning for one purpose.
Eugene Omoruyi, now Geo Baker. Here's Omoruyi, deep two, and Rutgers on the board first. Here comes Cassius Winston. He and Geo Baker will rarely leave the floor tonight. So you'll see this matchup all night long.
You saw the key for Michigan State is keeping Cassius Winston out of foul trouble. He's got to be smarter on the defensive end, particularly when it comes to just little cheap reach-in fouls.
There's Nick Ward against Omoruyi. And Ward with the hook gets it to fall.
It's an interesting matchup you got to watch, too. And Nick Ward may win that battle by getting position early in transition. So you got to watch him as he gets out on the break. Once he wins position early, he's got position for the rest of the possession.
Good look inside. Shaq Dorsey with a little reverse. Omoruyi drew two defenders out with his threat to shoot the three. Nick Ward.
We can live with that. That's good defense. You're forced to catch 10 feet away, forced to face up. And now Rutgers gets to set up and execute.
There's Baker. This time matched up against Langford. Kiss in the corner for three. To Ward again. The offense running through Ward right now as he spins and is fouled by Dorson.
It's not a bad foul. It's really not, particularly with the energy that you've got going on the offensive end. Off to a hot start, 7-2 Rutgers. If you give up position, the last thing you want to do is give up an easy layup. And I actually like the foul. And I also like the aggression from Rutgers. You talked about taking on the challenge that is Cassius Winston for Geo Baker. Well, Rutgers takes on the challenge that is Michigan State. And this is the big boy coming into town. It's a sellout, partially because it's Michigan State, but also because they're excited again, as we talked about, with what's going on here in Piscataway.
One more for Ward. There's Steve Pikiell. Third season as the head man at Rutgers, and his team starting to look more and more like the team he wants to put on the floor.
Yeah, starting to look like a legitimate Big Ten team. I mean, they've got size, they've got skilled players, and they're bringing in more and more guys. They're going to fill out the roster to the point where they can play the style that Steve Pikiell wants to play. They're close. They really are close.
First November sellout since 1997, and a hot start as this crowd rocking the students section, which is on the end where Rutgers is going right now. They are very loud tonight. Peter Kiss, the transfer from Quinnipiac, backing it out to Geo Baker with 8 to shoot. Baker will go to work against Langford. The fadeaway from the elbow. And offensive rebound for Omoruyi.
And that's going to be a challenge for Michigan State because a lot of these bigs, particularly Omoruyi, is going to play around the perimeter. So it's hard to block out when he's coming from the three-point line in.
There's Baker trying to go baseline. Got in some trouble down there. Omoruyi open three. Hadn't hit a three in his Rutgers career until this year. He's 9 for 18 on the season. Winston to the foul line. Tough shot. Got it to fall on a foul.
And that's a tough shot that he's got to be able to make, because if you watch how Rutgers is defending the ball screen, they're icing him down. They're forcing him down. They're not going to allow him over the top of the ball screen. He gets forced down. Geo Baker's got to be a little ahead of the play. He got jumped high, and just a step behind gave Cassius Winston just enough room. And I remember I ran into Cassius Winston at Media Day, and I told him, I said, you shot a high percentage last year without the stars. You might be taking some tougher shots this year. He said, absolutely. I took more step-back jumpers in practice than I have in my entire basketball career. And he's going to have to make those tough shots to keep defenses honest.
Right. Nothing Tom Izzo would like to see more than Geo Baker pick up another foul here early in this first half, because there's a pretty significant drop-off behind each of these teams' point guards. The lob underneath is broken up. Xavier Tillman just off the bench got a hand in there for Michigan State.
Well, Geo Baker's the guys last year. I looked at this kid and just said, that's the kid you build him. He's the most important player on that roster because you can trust him to play multiple positions. And right now, he's playing the significant role of initiator both on defense and on offense.
There's Baker trying the three. That roll off a road rim, that's only at the rack.
Is that true?
It's true. That's okay. Science. And foul. One more look at the home roll after the foul.
So according to Kevin Kugler, you only get this roll at home. And this is not a bad look. I mean, look, you could execute for 30 seconds and not get a better shot than that. Coming off a screen in rhythm, might as well take the shot. It's got a nice little bounce.
Several scientists have done major studies on that. Winston with 13 on the shot clock. The handoff to Aaron Henry. There's Langford with 8 to shoot. From the elbow. First shot tonight for Langford won't go. Rebound tipped around and tipped out to Omoruyi. Baker the jump pass to Kiss. Open three. And Langford climbing the glass to get that one.
And this is where they got to make sure they're locked in. They cannot lose the game in transition, and that leads to a second foul for Miles Johnson because you got beat in transition. A missed shot in the corner cannot lead to an open basket or an opportunity, particularly a foul, which puts one of your bigs on the bench. And you know, I mean, here we got a great look at it. Nick Ward is going to run the floor. He's coming right at you. He's got his hand up, telling his teammate, Cassius Winston, that if you throw it up, I'm going to get it. And it's missed shots that you've got to be concerned with if you're Steve Pikiell in Rutgers. Which, yeah, off to a hot start, but once the shots don't fall, what are you doing to make it a half-court game on the other side?
Ward one more at the line. Miles Johnson's going to go to the bench for Mamadou Ducour. Ducour hasn't seen a lot of playing time. He's been supplanted in that rotation early by some of the freshmen like Miles Johnson, who is a good shot blocker and offensive rebounder now on the bench.
Yeah, Mamadou Ducour, this is why you stay engaged in practice. And there are a lot of kids out there that may have started, played significant minutes, and it's their junior year and they're not playing as much. Well, you've got to stay engaged because you don't know when you're going to be called upon in significant, important minutes. Today's certainly one of those times.
Rutgers has led throughout in the early going here in Piscataway. Peter Kiss off the dribble, the handoff to Baker. Issa Chom, 8 on the shot clock. Baker at the top. 5 to shoot. Contested three. Falls for Geo Baker. And it's 2 threes. Got a foul underneath after the shot went through. I believe they're going to count the bucket. They're talking about it now. And it will be a foul underneath. And a hold is called. But the bucket counts, and it's 13-8.
I feel like I got to channel my inner Dickie V here. Just get excited about this crowd. It's amazing. It's electric. But look, this Rutgers team, they've showed up. They're ready to play.
Men's basketball on BTN is brought to you by State Farm, here to help life go right. Talk to a State Farm agent today. Rutgers with a 13-8 lead as we welcome you back to the rack at Piscataway alongside John Crispin. I'm Kevin Kugler. Good start for the Scarlet Knights. During that timeout, our officials were over at the monitor looking at the situation that occurred right before the timeout. We had the three that was good by Gio Baker and then a hold foul called underneath on Eugene Omoruyi as the shot was going through. So they counted the bucket and then called the foul on Omoruyi. That is his first. And they were reviewing it to make sure there was nothing else going on under here.
You'll see it underneath the basket. I don't know how it's possible that that is a foul on Eugene Omoruyi. I don't know how that's possible. It's about all I got.
They're going to go look at something else now, John.
But watching that replay, he got pushed straight to the ground. I don't really understand how the foul was on Eugene Omoruyi. Let's see if he actually grabs the arm, maybe. I mean, yeah. I'm not even good in slow-mo in 4 replays, apparently. Usually that's where I'm at my best.
The announcement being made inside the rack that they've confirmed the foul on Omoruyi and also confirming the bucket. So it's 13-8. Rutgers with the lead. Gio Baker with 6 quick points. Here's Henry on the attack. Gets all the way to the rim. The 6'6" true freshman with his first cut.
I'll tell you that he's got to add that, not just to his game. He's got it in his game, but he's got to add that for this team. To space the floor, to be able to take a 6'9", 6'10" defender, Lisa Chom, put it on the deck and finish at the rim. It just changes the way you defend.
Before pressed into action after Miles Johnson picked up his second foul a couple of moments ago. Omoruyi with 6 on the shot clock, going to work against Kenny Goins, and it's good. They're going to look at that one again. Ruled a 2 for the moment. Winston driving in, won't go. Baker on the push ahead to Kiss. Kiss got Goins to jump a little bit, then Kiss fires the 3. And Rutgers is red hot early, up 18-10. Trying to quiet the crowd. He will not. And Omoruyi will start it the other way for Rutgers.
Hey, Rutgers knocking down 3 balls. It's just a game changer. They're going to seek it out. I wouldn't mind the heat check from Peter Kiss. That's a guy, if he gets rolling, it's a dangerous team. It totally changes the way you defend the entire unit on the floor.
They're 4 for 6 from 3. Baker launching again. This one off. This place might have erupted had Baker hit that one. And I say might, knowing it absolutely would have. Inside, Tillman on the block, lost it out of bounds. It'll stay with the Spartans.
I gotta say, Michigan State's not playing bad defense. They're not, but they're not running 3-point shooters off of the line. And this is just a great throw ahead. Long closeout leads to a little dribble, side dribble, and jump shot. So this is a Rutgers team that has shown this year that they are more than capable of knocking down a lot of threes. Changes the way you defend in transition in particular, where you have to get back, not just protect the paint, but get back and defend out to the 3-point line.
Rutgers starts 7 of 11 from the floor. Michigan State 3 for 8. Here's Ward, who has 5 of Michigan State's 10 points. Can't get that one to fall. And right off the bench, Montez Mathis with the rebound for Rutgers. There's Ron Harper Jr.
I like Shaq Dorsett really working down in the post. It's just going to put a lot of pressure on Nick Ward to defend. Steve Michael talked about that. We want to pick on Ward defensively, and that is in ball screen situations, but also at the rim in the paint.
Mathis and spin, can't get it to fall. Ward able to corral the rebound. And Cassius Winston will start it up. Winston around the Ward screen. Langford, quiet so far, but he hits his first, and that's a big 3 for Michigan State.
Peter Kiss made the decision to go underneath. He got caught. And at this level, guys are trained to make the read, not just run the play, but make the read. And Joshua Langford made the read, defender behind, he's going to shoot it.
Pass against Winston, shot clock down to 10. This will put it on the deck. The handoff to Mathis. Has to launch. Won't go. Rebound tip toward the side, and it stays with Rutgers.
Is that the McLovin sign up there?
It was, yeah.
It's the little things that I appreciate.
Yeah.
Gritty was here.
Gritty was
here.
Yeah.
Yep.
You and I got a picture with Gritty.
His eyeballs were all over the place, but Philadelphia
Flyers. But I mean, really, he's all Philadelphia. Chom to the rim, won't go. Rebound, Nick Ward. Langford, no hesitation dribble. The kick into the corner where Kyle Arms is waiting. That three not going to go. Rebound tipped out to Arms. Here's Winston. Drives the dish. Arms open again. This time he hits.
And Kevin, that might not be a transition bucket per se or in the stats. Give it to the transition team on offense for getting that basket. It got the defense in a situation where they scrambled, they were out of position, it led to long closeouts and another driving kick and a second shot for Kyle Arms to knock down in the corner.
Their 6-0 burst has really settled this place down. And Baker fouled by Arms off the fake. Timeout on the floor. Michigan State on a 6-0 run. Kyle Arms with the three a moment ago. The Rutgers Scarlet Knights and the Michigan State Spartans opening conference play tonight on BTN. We've already talked tonight, John Crispin, about how excited Rutgers fans are for this team. This last game, when the win over Miami, is a big reason why.
Look, that's a big deal. To be able to go on the road, represent your conference the way they did, they're certainly excited about the potential of this team. But Steve Peichel also mentioned, guys like Issa Chom, Peter Kiss, building up a really good, rapport. There you go. I can't use words well. Building up a really good rapport with the fan base. Issa Chom's part of the Riot Squad at football games. So when you think about what they did in representing the Big Ten in this way to help tie that series in the Big Ten ACC Challenge, the fan base here obviously likes what they're building. Steve Peichel's doing a great job of building not just a team, but a program. And the culture that we talk about, well, he's building it, and he's got it. And he's one of the coolest guys you'll ever meet. I'm telling you, like, it is so hard to know these coaches as well as we do and not root for them.
Yep. The good thing is that both of these coaches are unbelievably likable guys, and we enjoy our company with them so much that, there's no rooting interest. It's just, it's great to see both of these guys.
I like how you have
come and see them.
I have no rooting interest.
I'm just basically keeping you from having people go, Crispin's root for Rutgers or root for Michigan State.
I would say both teams. I would say it's easier for a opposing team to like Steve Peichel more than it is for an opposing team to like Tom Izzo. But the time's going to come. This Rutgers team's going to start beating up on people, and you're going to stop liking them so much.
Michigan State in the middle of a 6-0 run. Down 18-10 just a moment ago. Here's Kyle Arms again. Jump pass to Winston. Trying to shoot for Aaron Henry. Good look inside the Tillman. Tillman with a bucket and a foul.
That puts Shaq Dorsett in a tough position. That's going to be his second foul, and he's being asked to maintain position on Nick Ward, which is a challenge. You can't really leave the body of Nick Ward. If you do, you're going to be late. He's late. He picks up the foul, and again, that's going to be testing the bench of this Rutgers team where you have Miles Johnson, 2 fouls. You're going to have to go back to Mamadou Duport, and here he comes, checking in.
So a size advantage for Rutgers has now been diminished with the foul trouble. Violation is going to give another opportunity for the three-point play for Xavier Tillman. Duport comes back in. Dorson sits down. So you've got the 7-footer Shaq Dorson on the bench, the 6'10" freshman Miles Johnson on the bench.
And this is the team Tom Izzo mentioned. They can go really big. At times they play Miles Johnson and Shaq Dorson at the same time. It's going to be a little different look now. Smaller lineup. At times you may see more ball screens from Mamadou Duport. I would make Nick Ward work every single possession. Set a ball screen 20 feet from the basket. Make him defend.
First lead of the night for the Spartans as Rutgers has missed its last 5 from the floor. And Rui picked up on a switch. He'll launch the three over Ward. Hits.
They're going to get that switch. He's got to attack, whether it's with the three or on the deck and get to the basket.
And Ward going to be called for the offensive foul. His first, team second.
And this is a tough one for Nick Ward to pick up because he's got position. He doesn't need to do it. It's the second lower of the shoulder. And it is because what you're trying to do by lowering that shoulder is to create space, to get a defender off of you, to remove him from the space you want to go. So that is a foul. It's to gain an advantage.
Baker. Working against Aaron Henry. Tough matchup there. Henry with good length. Ducor with the jumper over Ward is short. Henry the rebound.
Down in the post, of course, needs to stay on the top of Nick Ward. He's getting sucked underneath.
Kenny Goins off with that one on a foul is going to be called on Henry. First on Henry, third on the Spartans. You're watching Tip-Off Week presented by U.S. Cellular. Don't miss any of the action through December 6th right here on BTN and the Fox Sports app. What a great start to Tip-Off Week. Iowa, Wisconsin coming up next.
This is awesome, man. Seriously, it's still November.
Conference play, 20-game schedule kicking off tonight. There's Baker the three. And Ward the rebound for Michigan State. And for Michigan State and Ward, already 3 rebounds. Out rebounding Rutgers 10-7. Ahead to Kiss. Kiss has some ups. Oh! 8 points for Peter Kiss in his first half. As Winston is fouled, and he'll go to the line, and that's 2 on Geo Baker.
And that's a great shot by Cassius Winston because he understands that Geo Baker's trailing hard on the screen. And instead of taking that extra dribble, if you take that extra dribble, you actually give room for Geo Baker to come over the top. He didn't take the extra dribble. He took the shot close to the screen, and all you could do was foul. And Peter Kiss, this is a dream. You know, you hit a breakaway dunk. A game like this, the crowd is electric, as we mentioned earlier. I want to go back to it. The crowd, at times in the past, they've shown up for opponents. And this same thing happened at Northwestern for years. They'd show up for opponents, but never got as excited about their own team. And this year, it feels different. This team can play. They can do more than just compete. The potential's there for this program going forward. There's a lot of excitement here.
Caleb McConnell off the bench now. The freshman running the point for Rutgers. Got down 9:23 to go in this first half when Geo Baker picked up his second foul. The Scarlet Knights had the lead at the moment. Kenny Goins with the rebound ahead to Winston. The bounce to Ward in transition. Got it to go on the foul. Outstanding break by Michigan State, and Ward with the control to put it in. He'll go to the line.
And you mentioned Geo Baker going out with those 2 fouls. Mark this down. Well, watch where the ball finally gets picked up. Cassius Winston's already into an attack position. You have to pick up Cassius Winston earlier. His head is constantly up. He's always looking for teammates, and he's got big guys that run the floor incredibly well, particularly in Nick Ward. Cassius Winston's one of those guys, and we've done this in different broadcasts where we've just ISO'd his eyes, where you just get an idea of how much his eyes are up and looking, kind of Aaron Rodgers-like, constantly surveying, trying to find the open man, particularly in transition.
Winston sits down for a moment. They're going to try to get him little breathers throughout the game. This one coming 54 seconds before the under-8 timeout.
Foster Lohr is a kid who's done better and better. He's getting more time, and the more time he gets, the better he's going to be, the more prepared he's going to be for the bulk of conference play. You're going to need him, particularly with Matt McQuaid out. We haven't mentioned that enough.
Rui working against Goins with 7 on the shot clock. Fade away from Rui. Michigan State the rebound.
To see how different the offense is without Geo Baker.
Arns driving inside, offensive foul. That's number 2 on Kyle Arns.
Tom Izzo's not happy because there's just nowhere to go. Nothing wrong with getting inside of the paint. And there's also nothing wrong with getting inside the paint and just jump stopping and let the defense rotate. At times, defense tends to flock to the ball and over-rotate. That's where you find your opportunities. But you've got to sit down to make that play happen.
So if you're Rutgers right now, without Geo Baker to jumpstart the offense, how does it jumpstart?
That's a great question. It really is. You have to execute. And I think the ball's got to change sides of the floor multiple times in the offensive possession because you're not going to be able to keep up the scoring that you've put out at the start of this game. But what you can do, well, first off, is not turn the ball over like that. But what you can do is make the defense work for everything. You may pick up fouls. You may get a defender like Nick Ward behind the play, and that's where you can attack the paint.
First Rutgers turnover.
What I did was answer the question very vaguely.
Yes. Yes. I'm going to parse through that at the under 8 timeout. Kind of like panning for gold and see what I come up with.
But it's true. You really do. You don't have a go-to guy on the floor. Peter Kiss has been good to start this game, but he's not going to create too many opportunities for himself. So the ball has to change sides of the floor, and hopefully that leads to long closeouts and maybe some drive-and-kick opportunities.
Boyer working against McConnell. There's Langford launching from deep. That's not going to go. Rebound tipped into the hands of Tillman.
Interesting to see how Shaq Carter here handles himself on the defensive end. A lot may be asked to him this game, particularly with foul trouble. Miles Johnson, Shaq Dorson out.
Hasn't seen a lot of time inside, and there they attack right away and find Tillman for 2.
Michigan State does such a good job when the ball comes back. The big maintains his position. The bigs don't just chase the play. They maintain position, something Isaac Haas figured out late in his career. Instead of chasing the ball, he maintains position. So when it comes back to your side, you've already won the position battle. It's going to be layup.
First point since Geo Baker's foul come from the guy who replaced him, Caleb McConnell, the freshman guard.
So what I meant to say that last possession was the way you attack is just have your freshman, McConnell, just shoot a 3 and have it go in. There you go.
Langford, nice move to get to the rim, and that one rolls.
We've seen this from Michigan State. They can weather, right? I mean, they can weather a really wicked storm. They did it against Texas. Almost overcame the toughest from Louisville.
Well, that was one concern Steve Peichel had about tonight. Would his kids be too wrapped up in the atmosphere? Michigan State's been in this kind of atmosphere many times. Carter with the spinning hook, not going to go. Maruyi under there for the rebound, and it's knocked out of bounds. Last touched by the Spartans. It'll belong to Rutgers, and a timeout on the floor. Scarlet Knights and Spartans in a battle in the conference opener. As we open conference play this weekend, it really illustrates where this league is to start conference play. 7 Big Ten teams in the top 25 with 3 others receiving votes. This league's as deep as it's ever been.
I tell you, this league is as deep, but it's really just top to bottom as competitive as it's ever been. We saw this last year. The rest of the country didn't understand what we understand being a part of this conference the way we are, where you see these teams night in, night out. You see them practice. You see them improve. The competitiveness last year was there. But towards the end of the season, a lot of teams like Wisconsin, like Indiana, started to come together to the point where they were going to be legitimate contenders this year. So far, you see it. We've got a significant increase in terms of not only the competitiveness, but the skill of the teams this year. It's going to be a fantastic 20-game season.
Down to Kiss with Rutgers down 1. 6:15 to go here in this first half. Geo Baker on the bench with foul trouble. They'll launch from Harper in the corner, the air ball, and a foul is going to be called underneath on Langford. And for Langford, his first, team's 5th. And Rutgers continues some late struggles. They started 7 of 11, now 3 of 15 since from the floor.
You knew you weren't going to shoot that way for the rest of the game. You've got to weather it at times. You're going to struggle to get good looks, but you have to continue to stick to the plan and continue to execute.
Johnson back out there with 2 fouls as Kiss's 3 won't go. Skying for the rebound is Harper, and it's tipped out of his hands. But last touch by Harper, it'll belong to Michigan State.
Ron Harper Jr., he's another kid. A lot to prove in a way, under-recruited. And those are the kids that Steve Peichel wants. Kids that come in hungry. Something to prove, because you got to remember, it's not just Geo Baker going up against Cassius Winston. It's Rutgers going against Michigan State. And you've got to play with a chip on your shoulder if you want to beat a team like Michigan State.
How good was that from Joshua Langford? How often have we seen that from Joshua Langford?
He's got to do that and then some with Matt McQuaid out. When Matt McQuaid comes back, he may not have to take over games the way he does now, but right now he's got to dominate games on the offensive end. He's going to attract so much attention.
McQuaid still out with that deep thigh bruise as Harper is fouled. He'll go to the line. Caught in the act of shooting. The foul on Aaron Henry. McQuaid not on the trip, back home in East Lansing watching this game, and he is sorely missed by Tom Izzo and this Michigan State team.
And if anybody thinks you can play with a deep thigh bruise, have a buddy kick you in the side of the leg and try to run around, let alone play at this level. Understand how tough these kids are, how much they play hurt, play injured.
Rutgers with their first attempt of the night at the line. It's been a struggle all year long. Granted, in the early going for Rutgers, came in shooting just 56% at the stripe.
It's been a struggle, really, for both teams on the floor. You look at the woes down the stretch for Michigan State, missing big free throws. And that's a team that historically shoots them well. Now, let me just tell you, everybody practices free throws. But you don't practice with a sold-out arena with the pressure that 29-27 Michigan State up. I mean, you don't practice free throws like that. You just got to play. You got to get comfortable in a game situation. You got to be able to remove yourself from the pressure, which is easier said than done.
That pressure comes in the form of the first November sellout since 1997. This game's been the talk of campus here all week long. Tillman launching the three way off the mark. And Harper able to corral the loose ball.
It's interesting, this lineup with Tillman and Nick Warden. Miles Johnson back in with 2 fouls. I'd be going right out.
Harper in the corner with 13 to shoot. Working against Gabe Brown. Double team comes as Ward comes in to close it up. Tipped into the backcourt, so not an over and back. Tom Izzo can't believe it. The shot clock's at 3. Omoruyi's got it launched. This one quickly won't go. Johnson with a rebound. Back out to Omoruyi. The runner for Omoruyi is short. And the rebound and a foul. Omoruyi, a little frustration foul there. Gets his second personal as he reaches in on Ward.
Those are the ones you got to eliminate. There's no reason for it. You put yourself in a bad position on the offensive rebound, taking a tough shot. The last thing you can do is pick up your second foul. I get it, emotional situation. But Omoruyi is one of the guys that has to be settled in. He's got to be that emotional leader.
Boy, he was frustrated. Went right to the bench. Omoruyi, Johnson, Baker, Dorson, all with 2 first-half fouls. And a 1-on-1 opportunity here for Nick Ward, who tonight is 3 for 5 at the line. He's got 7 points and 4 rebounds.
It's interesting offensively. Steve Peichel mentioned a lot to his team today. We want to continue to attack Nick Ward. They haven't done it enough. And when I say they haven't done it, just putting him in a ball screen situation, that's not doing it. You've got to stick with it. You've got to come over the top of the ball screen. You've got to make him defend for more than 1 or 2 seconds. And then make him dive and take the pass away in the paint.
And missing the front end of the 1-on-1 certainly going to send some reminders to Tom Izzo that he'd just as soon forget. They missed about 3 of those in the Louisville game down the stretch. From the front end, hard to catch up when you're missing those. All the way to the rim. That one goes down from Caleb McConnell, who's got 5 points off the bench.
And that's exactly what I'm talking about. Caleb McConnell stuck with it. He came over the screen, took it all the way to the basket. That's going to be a blocked shot.
A block by Johnson, challenging the 3 with those 2 fouls, and it goes out of bounds off Rutgers. It'll stay on this end.
But back to that offensive possession. McConnell goes all the way to the basket, comes over top the screen. Nick Ward doesn't stop the play. Let's see. I think they got it right. It's off of Ron Harper Jr. It's amazing how often they get those right.
In the moment, with that speed, yeah. Good dish. Winston with an open 3 in the corner. They'll take that look. McConnell now on the run. Young lineup on the floor for Rutgers. Harper, the floater falls. And the Scarlet Knights back on top, 31-29. Winston on the attack. The lob underneath is broken up with a foul.
That's a great find by Cassius Winston. What a great find. Drawing defense. Looks like he's shooting the shot. He just lobs it up for a teammate. But on the other end, Rutgers, you got to give credit to the young guys. When the ball changes sides of the floor, it opens up opportunities.
Here in Piscataway, it's the Scarlet Knights' birthday, so he brought all his friends in, mascot friends, to celebrate the birthday, including Gritty. Philadelphia Flyers' new mascot. Gritty in the house tonight, celebrating the Scarlet Knights' birthday. And of course, we had to have a picture with Gritty.
What's happening with your right knee there?
Well, you know, I have two
weird
teenage daughters, and apparently because every picture they ever take has a bendy pose in it, I have to...
Usually you throw the elbow out, you know?
I usually don't.
Oh, sure you don't. Gritty was fantastic.
Gritty was great.
Gritty had his own handler.
He did.
His handler kind of creeped me out a little bit. He had sunglasses on, and I didn't know whether it was okay to get a picture with Gritty.
His handler was the guy that you can see right there.
He's got an actual handler.
He's the guy that kept you out of the clubs, you know, when you were 23, 24-year-old. And
sure.
So you can't.
Sure.
31-30.
I had to pay double the cover.
I wouldn't even take mine.
Dude, just grease a doorman. You can get yourself in.
Johnson playing with 2 fouls. Good position against Nick Ward.
Really like it. If he's got position, throw it in there. Trust him a little bit. Look, Steve Peichel loves what this kid can do. Question is, can he stay out of foul trouble? It's going to be the challenge.
Ward was calling for it on this end of the floor. They couldn't get it to him.
Part of the reason is he's a chomp. He takes so much away with that length.
There's that step back from Cassius Winston you were talking about.
Yeah, Winston understands if it's not going to beat Geo Baker on him, he's got to abuse the young guys. And the best way to abuse them is get your body into the young defender.
7 points in this first half for Winston. Here's McConnell. Double team came out. Ward trying to scoop it back into play. Diving for it, McConnell. And he finds a teammate. Here comes Montez Mathis. Chomp for 3. And the rebound, Johnson. Trying to bounce it inside, and it's taken away by Langford.
Great play by by Joshua Langford. Coming on the baseline side to take that pass away. I don't think Miles Johnson even saw him.
Michigan State looking for the lead once more. And a tight first half between these two teams. What a great way to open conference play.
Cassius Winston wants the ball screen. Nick Ward just wants it in the paint.
Winston finds Ward, and Ward finishes up.
Cassius Winston keeping his dribble alive. Not just giving the basketball up, not just picking it up, but keeping the dribble alive. Forced 2 defenders to come at him, and obviously with great vision, man, he gets it.
10 points for Nick Ward. Now let's take a look at this message from ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire and the official hiring partner of the Big Ten Conference.
Are hiring delays causing work to pile up? That's not smart. Then there's smart. ZipRecruiter finds people with the right skills, education, and experience for your job and actively invites them to apply, so you get qualified candidates fast. That's why ZipRecruiter is rated #1 by employers in the U.S. ZipRecruiter, the official hiring partner of the Big Ten Conference. Try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/Big10.
34-33 Michigan State, 2:03 remaining in the first half. Coming up, our State Farm halftime report. Rick Pizzo just settles. Deion Thomas standing by at our BTN studios in Chicago. Busy and late night for the guys tonight.
What a great night to talk about basketball. Not any night's a good night to talk about basketball, but
This was pretty 3 games.
Yeah, this was pretty good. Conference play starting up, and we talked about how strong this conference is, top to bottom. And I would say this is proof positive. This was a Rutgers team picked to finish at the bottom of this league. It's a Michigan State team picked to finish at the top of this league. And you see how competitive this game has been since the tip. And it's not just because Rutgers got going early. No, it's because they're good. It's just that. It's plain and simple.
Caleb McConnell pressed into duty after Geo Baker got his second foul at the 9:23 mark in this first half, and McConnell's been solid on both ends.
Yeah, he's going to have to do these little things, and this is what the fans get excited about. This almost led to a 3. We brought the house down. But either way, it's those little plays that you earn a little bit more trust from your teammates, you earn more trust from your coach, and then you also earn a special spot in the heart of all the fans, which is probably the most important thing. Get yourself a big hat.
Oh, it's been your goal. 9 ties, 8 lead changes in this first half.
So almost like a Photoshop it, maybe.
Langford with a deep 2, and McConnell the rebound. 7 points, 1 rebound for McConnell in limited time. Peter Kiss had the hot hand early. 2-4. The jumper from the elbow. Michigan State the other way. Winston looking to push. Eyes up all the way. Pulls up for the jumper, and Winston feeling it. He's got 9.
Rutgers has to figure out how they're going to defend that ball screen in transition. Yes, it's one of the toughest plays to defend, but your bigs have to be up. They have to commit to one side or another. You can't just sit back, let Cassius Winston come off ball screens and pick you apart.
Mathis. Kiss now on the drive, trying to wriggle his way to the basket. The rebound picked away by Carter for 2. It's a big play by Shaq Carter.
It's a big play, but that's what you get for attacking, drawing defense. 3 guys came to the ball, and Shaq Carter was wide open for an offensive rebound, and this place is loving it.
Sold out house as Michigan State takes the timeout. The first November sellout since '97. They were playing Princeton that night when they sold it out back in November of '97.
You know what? That's probably skewed too. There are probably a ton of Princeton fans. There's a lot of red in here. I mean, this is a fan base that is excited to see what Steve Pikiell's been doing here. And what he's doing is more than just bringing in a few players here and there. He's building a culture that is competitiveness. It's doing all the gritty things. So I got a few gritty in there. Got Grady back in there. You know, doing the little things that allow you to consistently compete, because that's how you build a program. You gotta do the things necessary to consistently compete, and eventually you start to win some games. You learn how to win.
9 offensive rebounds for Rutgers would qualify as one of those little things, John Crispin. 9 rebounds off the offensive glass in the first half. That's turned into just 2 second chance points, however.
You want to be able to convert a few more of those. Good analysis, wasn't it?
It was very good. I wrote it down. 10 on the shot clock for Winston. Winston against Chong. Backing up now with 6 to shoot. Winston, deep 3. Oh, and he rolls it home. And has a little something to say afterwards. Decent job.
I tell you, Cassius Winston, man, he's showing you a little something. And you didn't know it was there. He's quiet, but man, that guy, he gets out there and he is a competitor.
12 points in this first half for Winston. McConnell from the elbow. A little bit strong. Kiss trying to get the rebound, and halftime comes in Piscataway with Michigan State on top by a pair.
Michigan State should feel really good about the fact that they're up 2 points, because this is a Rutgers team came out on fire and did not let up regardless of the foul trouble.
7 for their first 11 from before, but Cassius Winston taking over late.
Cassius Winston, it's jump shot after jump shot. He's picking the defense apart with the dribble. He's got such great vision, and even though it's great length and defense from Issa Chom, Cassius Winston able to find just enough space.
So we've reached halftime here in Game 1 of the Big Ten Conference season. And what a start to conference play. Michigan State on the road against the Rutgers Scarlet Knights, and before a sold-out crowd. Spartans with a 39-37 lead. State Farm halftime report coming next. At halftime, Gritty from way downtown. Bang! Look at Gritty.
Get it.
Gritty with the deep 3 at halftime. And then Gritty with the splits. Who knew Gritty could do the splits?
I did. Not in that outfit.
Man, outstanding work from Gritty. And welcome back to the Rack alongside John Crispin. I'm Kevin Kugler. We are both overjoyed by little things like Gritty hitting a half-court shot. But foul trouble, something that certainly didn't overjoy Rutgers head coach Steve Pikiell.
Yeah, foul trouble may determine the outcome of this game, because it certainly determined the second part of the first half. Eugene Omaru, Gio Baker, Shaq Dorson, also Miles Johnson with 2 fouls. So look for Michigan State to attack early and hopefully get this game, the second half, off to a fast start, unlike the way they started the first half. Rutgers, you got to remember who you were in the start of that first half. They were fantastic. They were the aggressor, and the aggressor usually wins.
It's 7 of their first 11 from the floor to start right inside to Nick Ward. That's how Michigan State started this game. The offense going through Nick Ward on the first 3 possessions of the ballgame.
They've been better when they're playing through Cassius Winston. He's made such good decisions with the basketball, and he's going to get everybody else involved.
Everybody back on the floor now for both sides with that foul trouble that put guys like Baker on the bench early, as Peter Kiss with the 3, and Kiss with 11.
And Tom Izzo's frustrated with that because Kyle Arns was just behind the play. The ball goes to the opposite side. You've got to stay up on a shooter.
And a foul is going to be called. The pull on Nick Ward. Ward going for that rebound, yanking down a couple of Rutgers players, and Nick Ward with his second personal foul.
I go back to that offensive possession, though. Great set by Rutgers to get Peter Kiss an open shot. Now you're going to see the foul on Nick Ward. Looks like everybody got fouled on that play, but that was definitely on Nick Ward. But Peter Kiss coming off that screen. Kyle Arns has to be aware of that. Jump to the pass, he got stuck, he was late. And Peter Kiss, who's been on fire this game.
Baker in the corner. Geo Baker on the attack from the elbow. Long rebound to Kyle Arns.
That's one of the challenges when you sit for a while with foul trouble. As you see Eugene Marie just back it off and in a way just giving up a layup to not pick up a foul. Geo Baker's got to be patient. Get settled back in offensively. They run enough sets to get him looks.
Baker collides with Nick Ward. The ball loose. Langford able to scoop it up. Now Michigan State looking to push. Winston to Ward. And again, right back inside the Ward. The bucket and the foul. Working against Shaq Dorsett, who's just picked up his third.
Something we were watching early in this game was Nick Ward just running the fast break. Now, he's not going to run to look to get a three. He's going to run to look to get position. It's not just get the ball and shoot a layup in transition. It's get position early in the transition game. And once he gets position, and if he's allowed to get to that right shoulder left hook, he's been unstoppable.
Convert on the three-point play. Omoruyi the rebound.
I'd say scouting report for Nick Ward is win the position battle early. He's going to beat you up. You can't win the game if he gets position down low, particularly if you allow him to get to that right shoulder and left hook.
Dorson gets past Ward for the moment. Here's Omoruyi. 10 on the shot clock. Omoruyi with a little hook that won't fall. Goins the rebound. Winston looking to push again. Lob ahead to Ward. Nice catch by Ward. Patient and the one-hand stuff. And a timeout taken by Rutgers as the Spartans have opened up a 5-point lead.
I talk about Nick Ward not just running in transition to get a layup. Well, sometimes that actually happens. When you run the floor hard, you've got your hand up, and your teammates trust that you can catch the ball, you're going to get it more oftentimes than not.
Pretty clear the plan coming out of the locker room for Michigan State. Run the offense through 44 to start this second half.
Well, particularly when he's getting out and transitioning, running the floor the way he does. You got great guards who play with vision. They keep their head up. They constantly look. Cassius Winston being probably the best in the country at playing with his eyes up. And Nick Ward just outruns everybody. This is why he didn't need to play 30, 40 minutes a game. At times you think, oh, you wish he was on the floor more. He could be more effective. Well, you're not going to be as effective if you're gassed. He's at his best when he's fresh. That's why Tom Izzo's got him back out of the game, give him a little breather. Defense just smacked the floor. Let's see if that worked.
16 points for Ward. All 6 Michigan State points in the second half have been scored by Nick Ward. Here's Kiss. Hand off for Omoruyi. Eugene Omoruyi tonight with 7 points, just 3 for 11 shooting. He'll launch the contested three well short. Not been his night offensively. He's been a little frustrated as well as Arns got the rebound.
It's a great defensive possession. The communication from Michigan State was just perfect on that play. They got switched up, a few mismatches, but they got back to where they wanted to be and were able to contest a bad shot.
Winston against Baker. Around the screen from Tillman. Winston. The skip. Goins for 3 with the shot clock winding down. And Baker the rebound. First board of the night for Geo Baker. Baker with the blow-by. Gets to the rim. Can't get it to go. Goins with the board. Now Winston on the push. Arns running the floor. And Arns can't get that one to fall. Each team missing from close range.
The issue for Rutgers is Michigan State's getting opportunities in the transition game, and that's the one thing you've got to take away is Geo Baker misses one at the rim.
Just 1 for 6 for the Scarlet Knights to start this second half. Remember, they started the ball game 7 for 11 and jumped out to their largest lead, which was 8, about 5.5 minutes into this ball game. Back inside the Tillman. Tillman working his way to the rim.
That's just a great set. And if you're the defender 2 passes away, you've got to jump inside. And you're not jumping inside to take away the guy coming off the screen. You're jumping inside to take away that slip.
8-0 run. Kiss trying to stop it. Can't get it to go. Issa Chom, big rebound for Rutgers, and then throws it into the backcourt. And that'll be over and back. Not touched as it went into the backcourt. Timeout on the floor. 15:51 remaining in this second half. Tom Izzo's troops up by 7. (47-40) Michigan State by 7 over Rutgers. Largest lead of the game for Tom Izzo's 9th-ranked Spartans, who have been tested tonight. But to start off this second half, for Coach Izzo, things have gone a little bit better. 8-3 start to this second half for Michigan State. They've been able to get out on a little bit of a run on the run. 8-0 burst for the Spartans.
If I was Steve Peichel at halftime, my speech would have been, guys, we're down 2. We've played really well, but don't think that they're going into the locker room feeling good about this. They're going to get ripped, and they're going to come out hungry, and that's exactly what they did. This is a Michigan State team that has handled adversity pretty well, whether it be injuries, now playing without Matt McQuaid. And we can't say that enough. That is a senior leader, a glue guy. I think some guys get that title because you're not sure what they really do. Well, he does everything, and that's why he's important. He makes threes. He's a spacer. He's a ball mover. He's a great defender.
Oh, Winston, great speed to the rim. He turned that corner and found an extra gear.
He found a gear. He also found that no one was there to protect the rim. Those ball screen situations have been a success for Michigan State. Rutgers has to figure out how to defend that ball screen.
Kiss needs to hit this one. It's short, and the rebound to Goins. Rutgers ice cold right now. 10-0 run for Michigan State. Trying to get it inside. Now finds Tillman. Shot clock at 7. Winston around the Tillman screen. Jumps into Arns for 3. Rebound tipped around, and there's Aaron Henry. But he throws it away. Ron Harper Jr. with a steal. Geo Baker now pushing up to Harper. The handoff to Baker. Baker with 8 on the shot clock. Backs it out to Harper. Harper with 5 to shoot. Harper on the drive. Tough shot. Rebound Winston. Spartans push again. Ahead to Henry. Henry lost it on the way up. And it'll belong to Rutgers. Coming up on BTN, the Hoops triple header continues with a top 25 showdown as Tyler Cook and the Hawkeyes host Ethan Happ and the Badgers. Then Jordan Murphy and the Gophers battle Oklahoma State at U.S. Bank Stadium. Big Ten basketball continues next right here on BTN and the Fox Sports app.
What a game. Last year, this time last year, maybe midway through the season, would you have said Iowa-Wisconsin's going to be a top 25 game to start off Big Ten play? I mean, no one would have believed it. I mean, I probably would have believed it because I really felt like Iowa's a team that could have been a lot better than they were last year.
Hey! It looked good early. Tough rebound by Omoruyi, and he'll work his way to the line.
You go back to the Big Ten as a whole. The conference looks great. Top to bottom, the conference just has such strength, such depth. And each team is unique in their own way. Michigan State's unique in the way they play. Rutgers is unique in the way they play. Illinois, another team, super unique in the way they play, which makes conference play that much more difficult, particularly with 20 games this season. It's good for us.
Oh, it's fantastic for us and anybody who loves basketball. I mean, we've got conference play on November 30th.
It's kind of funny that we talk to coaches and they're like, man, it's a grind. We just got done the ACC Big Ten Challenge. You get a day to prepare, and you got to get ready for these guys. They do this, this, and this really well, and then the next opponent, it's a totally different matchup. So your preparation is different. It's not like you're playing the same teams like, oh, well, we know what Indiana likes to do. A little different. Archie Miller's there in his second year. It's going to be a little different than it used to be. Same thing, Chris Holtman. Different story. So they're not just teams that you're super familiar with.
11 offensive rebounds for Rutgers, only 3 second chance points for the Scarlet Knights tonight. Winston enters it to Tillman. 10 to shoot for the Spartans. Up by 8. Trying to get past Omoruyi, the step back. Pinball's out, the tip won't go, and Dorsey the rebound.
That ball screen is really opening up opportunities. They got a switch that Rutgers didn't really want. They got a shot up, which means you got an offensive rebounder in position. That tip should have gone.
And Omoruyi, tough night continues for the junior. 3 for 12 from the floor and another turnover.
Yeah, he hasn't been able to get into a rhythm. Kind of got out of sorts. It was that one foul in the first half that he picked up that he didn't feel like he deserved, but then he picks up a chippy that he asked for. And he just never got himself into a rhythm in this game. Extended pressure against Michigan State here. I would keep going back, either to Nick Ward here if he's got position in the post or to the ball screen situations.
Just backing down Dorson, but then the rebound falls right into the hands of Tillman, and Langford is fouled on the way to the rim. Geo Baker picks up his third.
I didn't see the whole play. I know Eugene Omoruyi wants a foul, but you got to go get the ball. Once the ball's sitting on the floor, I mean, he's going to box out, and I like it. He's in position right here. Maybe a little bit.
One more for Langford.
And this is the type of situation where if you want to stay in this basketball game and climb back into this game, you've got to be poised. And this is where the experience really helps. Guys like Geo Baker, you got to find a way to get your teammates a shot. Whether it be in transition, get a stop, run out, or execute in the half court. Because the half court offense for Michigan State has been strong.
Baker leaves with 3 fouls. McConnell back in. Langford good on both, and it's the first double-digit lead tonight for the Spartans. Langford's got 9.
It's an interesting group here for Rutgers. You got to wonder where the offense is going to come from.
McConnell provided a little spark when he came out there, but I figure Peter Kiss has to get himself involved again.
And he's going to get some drive and kick opportunities, but it looks like they're going inside. Trying to go at Cassius, yeah. I don't mind that. You got a mismatch down low, get position, and try to score.
Second foul on Winston. Montez Mathis to the line.
Ultimately, you want to execute your offense. You want to wear the defense down. You don't want to let them just stand around, defend, get a rebound, then run out. Save all their energy for the offensive end.
4 for 7. Rutgers at the line tonight.
Michigan State, and Tom Izzo in particular, has built this program on solid execution. Consistent execution, both on the offensive side and on the defensive side of the ball. And it's something that you see, it's a staple, not just in this conference, but in the country. If you can rely on your execution, you're going to be able to get yourself out of some tough holes.
First point of the ballgame for Montez Mathis. That extended pressure again, applied by Rutgers. Foster Lawyer on the floor now, giving Cassius Winston a breather. The 12 timeout coming. We saw this in the first half with Tom Izzo. Put Lawyer in when he had about 46 seconds before immediate timeout. Well, almost taken away by Kiss. Langford with good hands to get it back, but 3 to shoot for the Spartans. Up top, Boyens for 3. And the rebound tipped around, and it'll go out of bounds to Rutgers.
You've got to think both coaches looking to steal a little bit of time here. Cassius Winston on the bench, Geo Baker on the bench. For Michigan State, they've been good defensively. They've been locked in, and some of the shots that we're seeing Rutgers miss, they're tough shots. They're contested.
Are we late enough in the game that Steve Peichel doesn't worry about putting Geo Baker in with that 3rd foul?
So I'd play the rest of the game if you could. You're at a point where you need to get some level of control in this game, and that's not going to be your offense. That's a good shot by Gene Omoruyi, but that's not going to be what wins you the basketball game. Now you got to turn that basket into a stop as the crowd finally gets back into it.
Just the 2nd bucket of this half for Rutgers brings them back within 7. Here's Henry at the top for Michigan State. Lawyer on the handoff. 9 to shoot. Calling for the screen from Ward. That one kicked. It went off the foot of Caleb McConnell. And Michigan State will inbound after the timeout. A 51-44 lead for Michigan State. The conference opener on BTN.
To be, love who you want, just give it your all, go to infinity. Together, my world is so much better, my world feels so much bigger. I love it, I love
of the staples of the Michigan State offensive attack is dominating down low. And it's not just from your bigs. We always think of Nick Ward when you think Michigan State inside, but it's guards being able to get inside the paint. Once they get to the paint, if no defense converges, they're going to finish at the rim. And the second you take that away, they're going to open things up around the perimeter with wide open shots. But dominating the paint, staple of Tom Izzo's offense.
26-14. They've outscored Rutgers in the paint, and 10 of those 26 points coming in the second half. They started to run the offense early through Nick Ward. They came back to it to start this second half.
And so much of dominating the paint, it comes from the mindset that Tom Izzo wants to play with. He wants to win the physical battle. I don't blame him. Anybody should. There's something about just getting position, fighting for position, getting position, taking the ball, and scoring over top of somebody. I've never done it, but I can imagine it's fun.
Langford, step in for a deep two. Short. Omoruyi the rebound. His 10th rebound. He's got a double-double. 10 points, 10 rebounds tonight. Rutgers gets the stop they wanted, but just 1 for their last 10 from the floor. 2 for 11 in the second half for Rutgers. Omoruyi trying to change it. Shot clock down to 8. McConnell with 5 to shoot. 3 to shoot. The freshman in trouble, and it's taken away by Henry. Henry to the other end, driving to the rim. It's good, and a foul.
You can see early in that possession, Caleb McConnell just wasn't comfortable. The guys that are comfortable with the basketball love the fact that they've got it in the last 5 seconds of the shot clock, because that's the opportunity to be able to take a tough shot. But instead, Caleb McConnell takes time off the clock, a time he didn't have, calling for a ball screen, and ends up with nothing. It's a steal and a run out and an easy basket for Michigan State.
First foul on Kiss sends Henry to the line to try to convert on the three-point play.
I'm going to tell Kiss, the best opportunity you're going to have on the floor to play the way you want to play is with 5 seconds left in the shot clock and the ball in your hands. You can take a tough shot so long as you get a look. That's what you're looking for. Just get a shot up.
With that turnover that turned into the three-point play, Geo Baker back out on the floor now for Rutgers.
Yeah, you got a 10-point basketball game. You're not out of this by any means.
Johnson backing down Nick Ward with a right-hand hook. Dies on the back of the rim.
And that's a guy Steve Pikiell's been big on. He was great last year. He was a transfer, or not transfer, redshirt freshman last year. You get to work on a guy, you develop, you see him grow, you see the value of a year for a kid, particularly a big down low, learning footwork and the skill set that you need to play at this level.
Well, he missed his junior year of high school with a patella injury, so his senior year kind of working back into shape. Gets the opportunity to come to Rutgers and really growing into a role very early with these Scarlet Knights.
Nick Ward falls like Dwayne Wade. You know what I mean? Like, he's such a big guy, but he constantly ends up on the deck, and he's always looking for contact. You got to like that about him. But I swear, you know, Dwayne Wade goes up, there's like, it's a 5-on-0 break, and somehow he ends up on the ground. Not like he had a bad career or anything.
No, he's all right.
Smith. I love how they're booing him.
They're drying the ball.
Can you...
They're booing...
Can you
is trying the ball.
Can you dry the Vaseline off the ball? I can't actually hold it. Boom. That's hilarious.
Going to the line. Just 4 for 9 tonight at the line. One more to come.
Rutgers does. They do such fun things here in-house. What you can't see is Nick Ward is at the foul line. And on the big screen, they have an emoji in place of his face. It's the little things to make it engaging here. You got to appreciate, like the warm-up music.
Yeah, yodeling guy that does the warm-up music.
I don't know Russians yodel. Are Russians yodelers?
Lobbing inside, good position. Nice catch by Johnson. Johnson trying to finish and a foul.
Good job by Johnson staying with that. He probably got fouled on the first play, but he got it back. Sometimes they say play through the whistle. Well, at times you got to play through the non-whistle, too. At times guys think they deserve a foul. They don't get it. They stop playing. Miles Johnson stuck with it.
First on Kenny Goins, 4th on Michigan State. Each team's been whistled for 4. One more for Johnson. Long Beach Polytechnic High School, which has notables such as Tyus Edney came out of there, Tony Gwynn.
They had Not many of them came to Rutgers, though.
No.
That's a big get.
Snoop did not come to Rutgers.
No, he didn't.
Maybe for a concert sometime. Johnson can't hit either one, but the rebound knocked out of bounds. Last touch by the Scarlet Knights. Montez Mathis trying to get in there and pull it away, but it'll go out of bounds to Michigan State.
You want to see if you can just force some tough passes with this extended pressure. It's going to be hard with Cassius Winston, Joshua Langford at the top of this pressure, because both of them can dribble right through it.
And now, numbers, if Goins, and now travel. So Kenny Goins, for a moment, wanted to get rid of it to Tillman. Didn't think he had the lane, John, and then he took the extra step.
He may have had the lane. Tom Izzo saying, that's not your call to make from over there. I think you got the right call, though.
10-point lead for Michigan State. Where will Rutgers find some offense? Just 3 of 13 from the floor in the second half. Hold is going to be called away from the ball, trying to keep Geo Baker from popping out. Joshua Langford picks up his second.
You know, Miles Johnson's been a great spark, and you may not see all of it, but the screens, the fighting for position, the sprint back on defense, you're going to watch this tape in the film room. There's still film rooms?
Yes, I believe
the digital video room, and you're going to see a lot of good things.
Here's Kiss, the spin against Langford. Left that shot short, and Langford the rebound. His third. Winston, 14 points in this one. Winston all the way to the rim. No, the tip try there for Xavier Tillman. And Tillman has 9. Mathis, open 3. Langford bouncing away. Winston trying to save it out of bounds to Rutgers.
Miles Johnson keeping the ball alive. Just getting a handle on the ball, and that's probably the best shot they've had in a long time.
Good effort by Cassius Winston. Just couldn't keep it in play after it bounced off the leg. And Mathis into Baker. Kiss. Dorson wasn't looking for it. Fortunate it went to Mathis, and then Mathis threw it away. Oh, wow. Oh, my goodness. Broken up. As he went up top for Goins. And the foul's going to be called. Montez Mathis. And Goins going to the line for a pair.
I say, Rutgers has done a decent job of taking away some opportunities for Michigan State, but on the offensive end, they just haven't been able to get anything together. And at some point, you got to find a way to get Geo Baker something. Get him to the rim, get him fouled, get him a three-point look, and even though he's the initiator, he can also give the basketball up and get back into screening action.
First point for Kenny Goins.
It was like this team last year when Corey Sanders got rolling. Corey Sanders just had that swagger. I mean, kind of on overload. It was overflowing. But when he got rolling, he was so tough. It was at Michigan State. He hits the big shot. I mean, just keeps games alive. And Geo Baker's got to emerge as that guy.
Kenny Goins is the offensive rebound for Xavier Tillman. Goins has 1 point and 23 rebounds in the last 2 games. Makes it 24 rebounds in the last 2 games for Michigan State. Didn't even attempt a shot against Louisville, and he had 17 boards.
Yeah, do what you do.
On the shot clock, Michigan State up by 13. Langford driving inside, a little jump stop, and then the ball out of bounds to Rutgers. But now the challenge is, where will the Scarlet Knights find some offense? They'll have a timeout to try and sort it out. 8 minutes to play. Michigan State leading by 13. Men's basketball on BTN is brought to you by State Farm. Here to help life go right. Talk to a State Farm agent today. 59-46 Michigan State. 8 minutes to play in this conference opener. Tomorrow on BTN, 2 more exciting conference games coming your way as Vic Law and Northwestern will take on Romeo Langford in Indiana. Then later, Lamar Stevens leading Penn State against Bruno Fernando and Maryland. Big Ten basketball presented by Jeep tomorrow right here on BTN and the Fox Sports app.
There's not a bad game out there. I mean,
not in this league.
There's not. I don't don't care the matchup. And there are going to be some matchups that aren't a good matchup for a team, and it may look lopsided at times. I just think it's going to be a competitive season. Especially when you see a team second time around.
Rutgers trying to find a little offense in this conference opener in the second half. Just 3 of 15 from the floor. Michigan State really stifling what Rutgers wanted to do. Baker got a good look there, couldn't get the roll.
Yeah, but that ball screen, that's what you want to get to. You want to make that defender, the big in that case, defending the ball, the screener. You got to make him make a decision. That time, Xavier Tillman did not make his decision, and he got a jump shot.
0 for 5 in the second half for Geo Baker. Never really able to get back into the rhythm after the foul trouble put him on the bench in the first half. Ward one-on-one against Dorsett. Backing down, 3 to shoot. And Dorsett the rebound.
I could have told you he was coming back to that right shoulder left hook. He was setting the entire thing up. Just didn't get the angle that he wanted.
And a foul away from the ball. Xavier Tillman battling with Eugene Omoruyi.
And Rutgers is not the type of team, even though they came out hot, they're not the type of team that can easily come back down 13 points. Better off in half-court situations. They're going to have to work on this side of the floor to get some decent looks. Find a little bit of rhythm on this side of the floor.
Geo Baker against Nick Ward. Step back for 3. Rolls it home. They'll call it a long 2, and then a foul away from the ball as Arns and Dorson got tangled up underneath. Now they're going to go look at this one. The bucket's going to count. The foul coming after the ball went through. We saw this in the first half as well.
And I believe the foul they're called was on Kyle Arns, correct? I mean, correct me if I'm wrong.
They had Arns and Dorson back in there. It is a deep 2, no question about that.
I mean, he kind of pulled him down, and that's probably what they're looking at. I mean, it may not be a hook and hold, but it's a hook and a pull. And I wouldn't be surprised if you saw a flagrant 1 from this. I mean, this is hooking the arm, pulling him down. And quite frankly, that's what the rule is here for. It is for player safety, and in that sense, that is a player safety issue. You're pulling a big guy down. I usually act more surprised when they call the hook and hold. I'm like, oh, come on.
But not this time?
It's kind of the definition right there. But what I like is if they see it on the floor, just call it. It's a foul.
Yep. Then go check it, make sure what they see. And I think it is going to be a flagrant 1, John Crispin.
Look, it's the right call, and you could tell because Larry Serrato saw it on the floor. They called it immediately. Count the basket. Hey, that's one way to get yourself back in this ballgame.
You're right.
Long 2, close to a 3, but it was definitely a 2. And you get the ball back and a chance to execute. Now, part of it is Kyle Arns is falling down. He's fighting for position against a much bigger man. I would do way worse. But that's the call.
So now Shaq Dorson's going to the line. 3rd foul on Arns.
Kyle Arns is going to argue it, but he's going to watch the tape back and go, they got me.
Dorson with 1 more. 1 for 1 tonight. 5 for 15 on the year for Dorson. The big free throws there for the big man.
My mother would say he was due. You know, the guy who bats 250 and he's 0 for 20?
Due?
Oh, he's due. Oh, you were a glass half full type of lady.
She's your mother. She had to deal in optimism.
True. Why, Kevin?
Omoruyi on the drive. That won't go. The tip jam by Shaq Dorson. Lights a fire under this crowd. And a foul is going to be called against Omoruyi. His 3rd. 6th team foul.
Rutgers has an opportunity with that foul after the jump shot to capitalize. Here you get 2 defenders going with the ball, and Shaq Dorson wide open there for the tip jam. The problem is you foul on the other and just kind of suck the energy back out of the building. Let's see if the crowd can get back into it.
That'll help. The turnover, and now a whistle and a foul is going to be called. A hold is going to be called away from the ball against Rutgers.
That's going to be a tough one. Official coming from the opposite side of the floor, and he probably saw it. If he's blowing a whistle, it's because it's something he saw. I understand when guys make the argument that you weren't in position to make that call. That's where he's going to call. It's on that side of the floor. It's not on the ball side.
It's Issa Chom who got called for the foul. It was right in front of the official who blew the whistle.
Which at that point, if you're Steve Peichel, you say, guys, what are we doing? Follow the ball. Why are we chasing and fouling?
And now one-on-one situation for Michigan State and Langford with a second opportunity here. 10 points, 4 rebounds for Joshua Langford.
Not the guy you want to foul anyway. Particularly 3 passes away from the ball.
This Michigan State team, though, how good are they? Just calm, cool, collected.
Well, they practice with an intensity that is probably greater than anything they face in the game.
Baker trying to get a little space at the elbow. He hits the 2. He's in the double figures with 10. And back to a 7-point game with 6 minutes to go.
Amazing how that step-back jumper for Geo Baker kind of got him back into it. You make a tough shot, and you're reinvigorated.
They've got to be reinvigorated on this end of the floor as well. Mathis nearly able to get it away from Winston. Still 13 to shoot. Here's Ward. Ward driving all the way to the rim. Got it to fall. And Nick Ward with 20 points.
Everybody in this building wanted to travel, probably close to it.
Here's Chom. Mathis now. Lost the handle. Got it back. Chom, deep 3 in the corner. First 3 tonight for Chom.
I swear that thing got tipped. It didn't have a bit of rotation on it, but somehow it found its way into the basket.
6-point game. Winston trying to quiet the crowd. Tillman with the offensive board, and he's fouled.
And I go back to defending the ball screen. When you defend the ball screen, you get yourself out of position at times, so when the shot goes up, you're giving up offensive rebounding opportunities.
4th foul on Omoruyi.
Rutgers has struggled defending the ball screen the entire night. But this 3, let's see if it gets tipped. I don't know. I mean, it didn't have a lick of rotation. Somehow it goes in, and Steve Peichel's leading the cheers.
One more for Tillman, who's in the double figures. 10 points, 7 rebounds off the bench for Xavier Tillman.
You know, with this lineup on the floor for Rutgers, you've got floor spacers, you've got playmakers. There's multiple guys on the floor that can make a play. Look to see Shaq Dorsett in ball screen situations where he can open up some drives to the basket, maybe drive and kick. It's usually the second drive and kick that leads to a shot.
Back-to-back double-figure games now for the sophomore Xavier Tillman. Tom Izzo said he's as big a surprise from a recruiting standpoint as he's had in the last few years, just his development into what he's become.
There's a compliment in there somewhere, I guess.
Well, there is. Kiss off the fake for 3. Short. Chom the rebound. Kiss will try again. Can't connect. And the rebound to Nick Ward. Winston will push it quickly. Ward with a screen. Winston fights his way inside. Bucket and a foul. Turn it over to Cassius Winston, and he delivers for Michigan State.
You've got to commit to what you're doing in terms of how you're going to choose to defend the ball screen, particularly on the side. The side ball screen situation, they've been playing that down. In that case, they did not force it down. Geo Baker got stuck having to fight over the top with minimal help. Issa Chom is just not there to stop the dribble, and he's the one that actually picks up the foul. Defending the ball screen is one of the toughest things to do in the college game. No one really uses the ball screen that well in this game. The NBA, they got it down to a science. Overseas, they do it even better. But defending the ball screen is one of the toughest things to do because it takes 5 guys to do it.
And in the blink of an eye, the 6-point game has stretched again to an 11 and a timeout taken by Steve Peichel and Rutgers.
And the crowd here doesn't like that things have turned around. But this is what the Michigan State Spartans do. They take a punch and they come back and throw an even bigger punch. They've been able to figure out how to crawl back in this game constantly right now. 11-point lead.
68-57, Michigan State, 4:19 remaining in the second half. Kevin Kugler alongside John Crispin. And John, it's time for our State Farm assist of the game.
Well, you can pretty much take any Michigan State game and figure Cassius Winston's going to have the State Farm assist of the game. He's just that good. Eyes are always up, particularly in transition. And he's got bigs that run the floor. Easy to convert.
And Michigan State has converted in the paint tonight. 34 points in the paint, outscoring Rutgers by 16 inside. And 13 more points for Michigan State off turnovers. It has been a second half performance that's seen Rutgers creep within 6, but Michigan State's just been able to calmly stave off the Scarlet Knights. Trying to get it inside to Johnson. Rutgers fortunate to keep the possession. Baker with a 3. And the rebound to Aaron Henry. Michigan State with 4 minutes to go, up 11 in the Big Ten opener.
That was too easy of a defensive possession for Michigan State. The ball never changed sides of the floor. Defense never had to rotate. And they all just locked down in position, get a rebound, get out and go.
Goins enters it to Tillman. Tillman, nice spin for Tillman. Good recovery by Montez Mathis and Ron Harper Jr. The 3 from Winston is good. Cassius Winston cashing in again.
He even smiled a little bit after that one. Cassius Winston's the guy who's just gotten so comfortable on the offensive side of the ball. When he came in, you didn't know what his ceiling offensively was going to be. I mean, he's one of the best shooters in the country at this point. Was last year.
Cassius Winston, that foul in there against Aaron Henry a moment ago, sending Mathis to the line. Winston chatting with Tom Izzo. Very good performance tonight for Cassius Winston. 20 points, 5 assists.
It's impressive, too, how Cassius Winston has responded to Tom Izzo, because they're different personalities. Tum Nairn was more like Tom Izzo. He was outgoing, he was boisterous, he was loud, he was vocal. And I mean that all in the most positive way. Truly, he was a great leader. But Cassius was so different that first year, it was kind of a feeling out process. Like, does this kid even care? Is he trying? Well, that's just kind of how he is. We're all motivated differently. We all kind of function differently, if you can believe that.
Well, there's no question Cassius Winston is a motivated, talented basketball player. He just does it in a different way.
Also, you go back to his freshman year, it didn't even look like he was physically really ready to play. And he's gotten himself to a point where he doesn't look like Miles Bridges, but this is a guy who can play 40 minutes and be effective.
Winston. And the tip up and in by Kenny Goins.
Go back to defending the ball screen. If you can't defend a ball screen, you're taking one defender off the floor. It's 5-on-4 at that point. That's why they get the offensive rebound.
Mathis going baseline, nothing there, but a foul. Aaron Henry defending down there on the baseline, picks up the personal. That's his 4th. Well, don't forget, this is just game 1. We've got 2 more games to come, and up next, a giant game.
Awesome.
22nd ranked Wisconsin's at 14th ranked Iowa. Coming up next here on BTN.
I'm really happy to see Iowa where they're at, because I thought they were going to be that good last year. Last year, I think, was a big learning experience for that Iowa Hawkeye team, a team with great potential, but they just didn't have that fight. They didn't have that winning mentality. There's a difference between guys that want to win a game and guys that want to go beat the opponent. I'll take the guys that want to beat the opponent any single night. Those guys are winners. And I think the Iowa team learned a lot last year, to the point where they're ready to play for well more than just a Big Ten title this year. Does that make sense to you, Kevin?
It does.
The difference between wanting to win and going and beating your opponent?
There are a few teams that you could point to in the Big Ten Conference this year that might have that trait, wanting to win, and this year being able to go out and beat your opponent.
That's got to be the motivation. I'm not just coming out here to play to walk away with the win. I'm coming out here to beat the team that showed up to play against me. Those guys, that mentality, the Tom Izzo mentality, that's what makes them so tough to face.
Wisconsin, Iowa, for those that are Looking forward to game 2 like we are of our triple header tonight. It'll tip at 8:11 Eastern time. So an 8:11 Eastern time tip as Omoruyi gets to the rim and lays it in for Rutgers to cut it to a 10-point game and a timeout.
I'd like to see more of that from Gino Omoruyi. Get the rebound. Don't try to get it to a guard. Just get out and go. Attack. Some of the best teams in college basketball have a 1 through 4 that get a rebound and just go. I mean, look at, Brasdakis at Michigan. This is a guy who comes in as a freshman. He gets a rebound from the 4 position on defense, takes it all the way. It's hard to defend that because no one's there to really stop the ball. Guards, they know. They're constantly looking for their man. They're going to stop the basketball. Big guys don't do it as well.
A 10-point lead for Michigan State. 2:07 remaining in this second half. It's time for our Duluth Trading hardest working player, and that would be Cassius Winston, who gets the nod tonight.
Look, don't let the calm, cool, and collected fool you. This is a guy that does play hard. He gets after it. He defends. He set the tone on both ends. His jump shot is making him lethal in this conference, and his ability to play off the ball screen is making this team tougher and tougher to defend. He's spaced you out. He's got great vision, and it's good to see him smile a little bit. I think that smile is going to be infectious to the rest of his team.
One of the top 3 basketball IQs Tom Izzo has ever had at Michigan State, he said. He's incredibly good on the basketball court. Knows what to do and when to do it in the right places.
He's a sharp kid in general. I mean, Tom Izzo's got a lot of them. Joshua Langford, same way.
And tonight, weathering the storm without Matt McQuaid, who missed Tuesday's game at Louisville with the thigh bruise, didn't travel again tonight. Not sure what his status will be for Iowa on the first part of the week, but maybe back in time for Florida, maybe not. That's the question that remains for the healing process going on for Matt McQuaid.
Iowa, I think about the zone they've been playing, the length of that zone. Matt McQuaid is not needed just for a jump shot. We think of zone, and you need a zone buster. Or if you're a three-point shooter, you must be a zone buster. No, you need a guy that can make a pass. He can fake a pass, get somebody open. He can relocate, cut to the right spot. Those are all things you can't really teach. You got to learn.
Not to mention what he does on the other end of the floor. He's one of the best defenders on this Michigan State team as Winston's little runner pinballs around and falls. 22 for Cassius Winston.
How many times are you going to say, defend the ball screen, keep the guy out of the paint. You got to stop the basketball first. And if the guy covering the man with the ball can't do it, you got to bring help. And it can't be back in the paint. It's got to be up on the ball.
I think Michigan State's going to be thrilled with tonight the turnover numbers. They'd had 41 in the previous 2 games combined. 6 turnovers tonight for Michigan State.
And there hasn't been much extended pressure. You see it now, a little more extended pressure by Rutgers. But right now, you can just clear out, let Cassius Winston go.
Good to go with Cassius Winston around the screen. Langford with a 3. Rolls that one home. He's got 14. And Michigan State's going to open up conference play with a road win against Rutgers.
I know there are things Tom Izzo is going to want to correct, but there should be a lot he should be pleased with, particularly in this second half. Locked down defensively, got rebounds, got out and run, executed on the offensive end. Cassius Winston's just been terrific.
Winston, great, 22 points in 35 minutes. Ward, 20 points in 25 minutes. And a 78-65 advantage for Michigan State. They'll count this one down. Taken away, Omoruyi on the drive. Omoruyi with a 2-hand flush. 16-point night tonight for Eugene Omoruyi is going to end with a Rutgers loss. Michigan State on the road gets the victory tonight over the Rutgers Scarlet Knights. 78-67 the final. Tom Izzo starts off 1-0 in conference play. Steve Peichel and Tom Izzo exchanging pleasantries. Stay tuned. Wisconsin, Iowa coming up. This has been an exclusive presentation of the Big Ten Network. For John Crispin, I'm Kevin Kugler saying so long from Piscataway. Let's head back to our Chicago studio and Rick Pizzo.